Oh, I'm so small. I'm so small. You raise me and then you let me fall. I'm so tall. I'm so tall. Wrapped around your fingers, see me fall. Anybody know the lyric, what song that's from? Anybody know those lyrics? Salt Laker says blueberries. Have you ever heard the idea that if you randomly start smelling blueberries, that you're most likely losing your mind? So I don't know if that's why you said it. Hope you're not just randomly smelling blueberries, Salt Lakers. What's up? We're live on YouTube, X, and on Telegram. You can watch the show on Telegram. If you want to, there's a link below for that. Bella, your house is burning to the ground. The situation is dire. Your house is already burned to the ground. The situation is over. What was that from Newsroom? The Newsroom? You identify as a blueberry? My gosh. Didn't Violet from Willy Wonka, she identified as a blueberry for a while too, didn't she? Till they took her to the dejuicing room. All right. If you're watching on X, please say hello. Victory Jen is watching on X. What's up, Victory Jen? Thanks for retweeting. I don't know, as usual, the interwebs are up to their usual shenanigans, but whatever. Whatevs, yo. And I think we're going to do a show tomorrow on the 4th of July. Pretty sure. If you guys aren't doing anything, I don't know if y'all got plans or doing family things, or I don't know what y'all are doing. I am not doing much. I don't think. I think I might be doing a whole lot of just relaxing. I might just do like a movie marathon tomorrow, like just a personal movie marathon. Just line up a couple things that I haven't seen in a while. I don't know. Not sure what I'm going to do. The big dumb goofy bill passed. What's up, Chris, Salt Lakers, William, Victory, Bella? Got some folks in here. Thanks for hanging out. Victory Jen. I know. So it's strange. It's a strange 4th of July. I don't know. It's weird because I was watching like a financial show earlier, as I do sometimes, just because I like to get opinions and takes from all kinds of different people, and get news from different sources, and like, what are these people talking about? And what are these people talking about? You know, what's their view on what's happening? And I was watching this financial show, and they were acting like nothing was a matter. And it was the strangest thing to me. In fact, they were giddy at the potential windfall of the coming technological, like technological advancements and or cryptocurrency legislation. And maybe if you're in the right position, if you're, uber wealthy, if you've already got several million in the bank, if you're in the right position and you can just say mum's the word about everything else that's going on, right? Right. If you don't care that people are being deported, if you don't care that people are being randomly detained and locked up, if you don't care about people being inadvertently blown apart in particular areas of the world, if that's not a issue for you, then it's a good time to get giddy about the stock market. I don't know. I was kind of like, okay. And I can see where just, a very small cross section of people could be absolutely in a whole other world, in a whole other world about what is going on the planet. I was like, wow. I mean, sure, I guess, if you're an investor, if you're a stock market person, like, you could get all happy about it. But I mean, you if your worldview is only that big, I mean, these folks are happy about like robots. They're happy about AI, right? They're excited. They think this is a business opportunity. Okay. At some point, though, the robots and the AI are a liability, not an opportunity, right? They're a liability to, at some point, the ICE detentions and the deportations are a are a financial liability, right? Because when people lose faith in the system, you know what I mean? If it's only the wealthy people, trading stuff, like only wealthy people are not the only people that buy stuff. I know it's, to a lot of people, it seems that way. That's why I always say, like, when people get mad about, like, oh, it's the uber wealthy are the ones that use all the resources. On some level, that's true, but a lot of the resources that the uber wealthy use or the corporations use are used to create products, right? Are used to, if you tear the airline industry down, well, then you lose a lot of money. If you tear the fabric of society apart, you lose a lot of money. If you tear down everybody's ability to, buy things or operate, you lose a lot of money. I just don't see the logic in it. I just don't understand the logic in it. But whatever, some people just really just are very short-sighted. Some people are very myopic. Some people just really don't have that big of a viewfinder in their, on their person. They're just not really looking at the whole picture and going like, well, hold on. I mean, I suppose Nazi Germany was a vibrant economy for a while, right? And then if you just make it all about war, I guess it gets really vibrant for a moment. But eventually, you see what happens to the economy when you build it on that foundation of, like, control and terror. What happens is it all becomes nothing. Eventually, it all goes to zero. People lose faith in the system. People lose the ability to participate in the system. And when that happens, everything falls apart. I don't get it. So these guys were excited about, the 4th of July, USA. And there's so many people out there that are like, maybe I want to be somewhere else looking at this whole thing from the outside and not the inside, which is kind of how I'm feeling. I don't know. Myopic. It's not Joe-opic. It's myopic. All right. Well, anyways, enough of that. Meanwhile, the weather environmental situation continues to break down. If you believe it's all harp raised, that's fine. Whatever. I don't, believe what you want. But some very weird stuff going on in the world as far as localized regional destruction by extreme weather events, which have been pretty steadily getting worse. And if you don't care about climate change, or if you don't believe in climate change, that's fine. Just understand that every climate scientist for the past few decades have predicted that the things that are happening now were what was going to happen as we get warmer. Right? So you could be like, oh, they made it happen because they predicted it. I don't know. All the conspiracy theorists predicted things that are now happening. Did they make it happen because they predicted it, or did they just see it? Did they have vision? it just depends on the way you want to look at it. But, at some point you don't really get to choose. You just get to like align with reality or be a victim of it. And you can apply that to anything. You can align with reality and react to it based on reality, or you can be a victim of it because you just refuse to acknowledge what's going on. And, that's all you. That's all your choice. Oh, yes. 9/11 timeline is back. Yeah. I guess that's one more thing I would say about tomorrow, 4th of July, is that there's and we'll play something from Tammy Bruce, or with Tammy Bruce speaking, not from Tammy Bruce, but warning of some kind of, there's been a lot of warnings about something happening on the 4th of July. I don't know. Now that the warnings are so very public, I would assume that maybe it won't, but never assume anything these days. I would say anytime, be wary of anything weird happening anytime this weekend. All right. China, more flooding disasters going on in China. That's what it's looking like there. Somewhere in the U.S., I think I have it on my timeline on X, I think. I might, maybe not. Maybe I just watched it and just thought. Where is it? I'm not going to be able to find it. Anyway, some tunnel was flooded out and there was cars backed up. And this dude in a Land Rover was like, I've got a Land Rover, I can make it. He's just like, just plows into the water, into the tunnel, and about halfway through, he just starts floating and stops going. And that's that, Jack. Judy Truitt says many parts of our state have flooded. We still have had no rain here, though. Oh, okay. Las Vegas got hit by some crazy windstorm. This was on Tuesday. Dashcam video captured the moment power lines crashed down onto vehicles during a dust storm in Las Vegas. What to do if power lines fall on your car? Stay in your vehicle with your hands on your lap. Don't touch anything by all means. This is frightening. Absolutely crazy. The wind was so powerful it snapped these power lines, power poles. And this is more footage. Absolutely wild footage. Doink. That's a big tree, too. It's just crazy footage. That didn't look like Las Vegas, though. I think they're cutting in some, because this looks like Texas to me. That looks like a Hawaii. They're just cutting in. Okay, this is getting silly. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Let's find some. But this did actually go down in Las Vegas. Sorry about that. Portions of eastern Las Vegas Valley were picking up the pieces Wednesday after a strong dust storm brought 70-mile-per-hour winds that snapped trees and power poles, blocking roads and causing widespread power outages. Among the roadways closed was a 1.4-mile section of East Tropicana Avenue between Southeastern Avenue and South Sand Hill Road, an area of mixed development with commercial centers, apartments, and other housing. Along the road, workers were cleaning up debris from downed power poles and even a traffic signal. Anyways, the damage came from a series of dust storms and thunderstorms that swept through parts of the Las Vegas Valley late Tuesday afternoon, bringing wind gusts as high as 70 miles per hour that toppled trees and down power lines. Here's some footage.
Las Vegas. We are on Tropicana in front of the Walmart. Every last one of the light poles, the electricity poles are down. This goes for miles. We ain't got no power. I don't know what the hell is going on. This goes for miles, y'all. Look at the cords on the road. It goes all the way down, miles. What the hell? What the hell? All of these are down, y'all. Every last one of the towers down.
Okay. Music is ridiculous. Creative Experiment says, but the data power center power didn't go down. They are protected, of course. I keep forgetting to turn on show the comments on the screen button. Most people are liking it. Not everybody likes it, but I don't know. It's kind of cool, I guess. So fire happening in Greece that looks pretty alarming. They're evacuating people. I don't know. And on a random side note, I don't know, about a week or so ago, someone said something about not seeing any more contrails in the sky. So I've been trying to pay attention, and I haven't seen any for about a week now. I don't know what that means, but I mean, we've talked about it before. But what does it mean that they're gone? That always gives me a little bit of a pause. But I don't know if anybody out there has been paying attention for the last week or so. Let me know if you've been seeing anything. I'm not sure. Massive evacuation is underway in Firma. Ierapetra on the Greek island of Crete has an out-of-control wildfire near hotels, rental rooms, and homes. Authorities have ordered the area cleared for safety. Yeah, seemed like a massive fire. No stripes, Bella. Yeah, I just haven't seen any, and I'm looking today. Nothing. Interesting. What does that mean? Did they defund it? Did they stop it? Are they doing something different? I don't know. Seems weird. Also in Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties, there's a madre fire going. No one wins at tic-tac-toe. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition, and no one wins at Sky tic-tac-toe. Quite the nighttime view of the madre fire burning in San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara counties. The definition of nuking updated mapping isn't available yet, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was over 15,000 acres now. Incredible wildfire activity for early July. Indeed, it looks like this whole range of hills are on fire here. Turkey's got big fires as well. Holy moly. Hold on. Let me see if we can find that. I literally could spend the whole show bring you, weather extreme situations. That's why I don't cover it every day, because, I want to talk about other things, but I try to tap into it a little bit on the daily and when I can. Let's see. Holy shnikes. What? Yeah, that does look no, that's not today. No, it's not today. It's from June 28th. $10 hours ago. Okay, so this is recent. Crazy. This is from 10 hours ago. Turkey's wildfires last night near the western coastal resort of Sesme. 45 injured. Sorry about the slowness of everything. Guys, sorry about it. Roads are now blocked by fire and police. Fires devastate everything in their path. For rural people in historical olive groves. Yeah. All right. Here's our favorite propagandist, Tammy Bruce, telling you about the sleeper cells and 4th of July and to watch out there and stuff like that. Yeah. Hold on. U.S. Department of State's Tammy Bruce says America is ready for potential 4th of July Iranian terror attacks. Okay. We just know they haven't happened yet. They haven't happened yet, but we know they're Iranian. Okay. We've already identified the perpetrators, even though they haven't happened yet. I feel like this is some Minority Report type stuff. This is crazy. The AI, what the AI is doing today, it's crazy. Well, let's listen.
There are Iranians that have come across the border when it was wide open. That is a
And
big
it's all by
obviously.
It is, and we talked about this at the time during the last administration.
Yes.
The number of people who are
If Biden just didn't have that wide open border, we wouldn't have the sleeper cells. Yep.
on the terrorist watch list that we knew had come over. The issue becomes who we didn't know who came over, right? From both the northern and the southern borders. This is obviously, now we've got a DOJ, we've got an attorney general, we've got a president who understands the importance of safety in this country. And that is now built up. We know just President Trump's presence has sealed that border. But it is about from city to city, town to town, knowing that we recognize the importance of safety in the streets. But you're going to get certainly alerts like this. We are ready for it. But Americans need to have that in mind as we move forward.
Thank you so much, Fred. There are Iranians that have come across the border when it was wide open.
Wide open. Exactly. Creative experiments. They don't know who came over the border, but they know that they were Iranian. Yep. Remember the video of the guy who said, "Soon you will know who I am." This is last year, of the guy who spoke darkly. He was actually identified as a Mossad agent. So there's that. You're despicable. Here's an interesting clip of someone from the, I think it's World Health Organization, talking about the implications of COVID. Man, it's going really slow right now. Sorry for the slowness, y'all. I don't know why it's so slow. It's my computer. There's no way she said this out loud, bro. Let's listen.
We're undergoing a soft coup, and the idea is to create a whole new set of laws and ignore the existing human rights laws and other laws under the pretext of pandemic preparedness and the biosecurity agenda. The WHO is developing through all its nations, but with the WHO Directorate and the United States in charge, a pandemic treaty and amendments to the existing international health regulations that will remove the human rights protections currently embedded in the IHRs, will enforce surveillance, censorship, get rid of freedom of speech, require governments to censor and only push a single narrative. Also, we will be subject, if they can make this work, to vaccines developed in 100 days, which the organization CEPI is planning to do. And one of the people who founded CEPI was Jeremy Farrar, who is now the chief scientist at the WHO, to bring this forward. Other things that amendments do is to bind the states so they are no longer recommendations but enforceable edicts, provide a liability shield, get rid of intellectual property rights, move supplies from one country to another, enforce digital passports, and the Director General of WHO can demand that a pandemic or a potential pandemic exists. He can just declare it with no standards, and then countries around the world will have to obey. Also, the WHO will tell you what drugs you can and can't use in your nation once a pandemic is declared. Obviously, the budget will increase. One Health is another part of this. One Health is a concept.
I'm trying to figure out if she's warning. Is that Meryl Nass? Is she warning, or is she just saying this is what we want to do? I don't know who Meryl Nass is. She's warning. Got it. Okay. I see she's warning. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. It's good to know the context, because I think that they're posting this as a, well, whatever.
That was created to enable the WHO with these documents to take over jurisdiction of everything in the world by saying that climate change, animals, plants, water systems, ecosystems are all central to health. Also embedded in this concept is a peculiar notion that humans are no longer of greater value than animals.
I see. One of the many doctors that had their licenses pulled. Yeah. Suspended. Okay. Yeah. Scary when you speak out. You get slapped down generally. Put in a box. Nobody puts baby in a box. Okay, we're going to talk about Alcatraz Alley and ICE a little bit. Sorry, the sound on that was really not good. So, yeah, I know. Creative, it passed. He's going to sign it tomorrow and make a big, he's going to make a big deal out of signing it tomorrow. Ugh. It's costing taxpayers $450 million annually, and Alligator Alcatraz concentration camp is already flooding. Imagine a hurricane. People are going to die. There's always enough money to hurt folks, but when it comes to public transit, low-income housing, schools, or public health care, sorry, we're broke. Apparently, children will be held at Alligator Alcatraz as well, which a lot of people are likening to a concentration camp. A 35-page report obtained by the Herald Times outlining the state's initial draft of minimum requirements for the site shows the level of planning that went into the building the facility in an 8-day span. Someone else had a post. Hold on. I don't have it, but they were saying they slapped this thing together. Supposedly costs $500 million. They're like, where'd the rest of the money go? It's built with duct tape and 2x4s and plywood. Like, where's the money at? Just pretty much, you can ask that about almost anything these days. The undated records point to a myriad state and federal regulations the facility had to meet before it could open, and suggest that there is a possibility children could be among the detainees who could be sent to the facility. The guidelines, for example, say when transporting detainees, minors shall be separated from unrelated adults at all times. during transport and seated in an area near officers and under close supervision. The records also say snacks and water shall be given to minors, pregnant females, and as necessary for detainees with medical conditions while being transported by land. If you're not one of those people, nothing for you. More on this. Earlier Wednesday, the Miami Herald reviewed a video that showed a person using what appears to be a credit card, jimmying open a door that leads into one of the chain-linked cells where immigrant detainees are expected to sleep. Neither the state nor the contractor, Garda World, would discuss the issue when asked to comment. Construction workers, fencing companies, and locksmiths went in and out of the facility ahead of detainees coming in. Food trucks serving churros, street corn, and empanadas flitted in and out of the facility. The activity signaled active preparations for a site that a day earlier was showcased by President Donald Trump and Governor Ron DeSantis as an operational location. Apparently, the first immigrants arrived already at Alligator Alcatraz Wednesday night. Yes, they all work together. Yes. Here's Larry Loomer saying some very frightening things. El Norte Recuerda says the entire Latino population in the U.S. is 65 million. She means all of us. Larry said, alligator lives matter. What? The good news is alligators are guaranteed at least 65 million meals if we get started now. What the? Whoa. What the hell? Wow. El Norte goes on to say, I really hate to post AI overview instead of a real source, but this is most certainly where she got that number. In 2023, the Hispanic or Latino population in the United States was estimated to be 65.2 million, representing 19.5% of the total U.S. population. Further proof that she's stating that the entire Latino population, 65 million, is illegal. What? She said earlier, 65 million illegals. I don't know. Guys, if you like the show, if you want to support the show. Oh, Poppy did. Thanks to Poppy Davis. For throwing me down some coffees on Buy Me a Coffee. Thanks, Poppy. Appreciate you. And thanks to the Patreon people who support the show on Patreon. I get your donations once a month at the end of the month, so thank you. If you want to support the show, there are a lot of ways to do it in the description box. All the usual suspects are there. Venmo, PayPal, CashApp, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, Patreon, Substack. And a lot of you support the show on a regular basis. You know who you are. We know who you are. And we appreciate you. Yeah. So the big bunk bullshit is passing and making ICE, the budget for ICE, larger than most of the world's military. I don't know about most, but a lot. Bigger than Brazil, Switzerland, Netherlands, Israel, and Italy. That's a lot. But considering that they're not even a military, or maybe a paramilitary, but noting on this graph that the United States defense budget is 3 times what China's is in second place. I don't know, 6 times bigger than Russia's, and on and on and on. And well, people are really concerned about this because of what is going on already. With the ICE budget is going to rise by a factor of what, 10 or 20? What does this mean? Does this mean when they start rounding up people that they want to denaturalize and deport, there will be plenty of ICE agents on hand? Is that what that means? It wouldn't be a stretch. If you thought that, it wouldn't be a stretch. Something you will never see: ICE rounding up the CEOs who illegally exploited undocumented workers. Sure. That's real. Yeah, never forget that this is an issue that they allowed and created and then turned around and said, "Oh, this is bad. Who created this issue? We got to stomp this out." No, you all created it. Yeah. Like it was created as a problem reaction solution type of thing. And ICE's role in what has happened currently isn't about immigration. It's about something else. Something else being the rounding up of people, denaturalizing them, deporting them, and or whatever. There's another story that's going on that I haven't really reported on yet. I'm trying to get a little more information about it, but apparently they've been deporting people to the Sudan, and the Supreme Court said that was fine. And the story is that they're not making it to the Sudan. That apparently those that have been deported to the Sudan are now in Djibouti. And then there's a lot of people out there saying that they're not making it at all, that they're like throwing them off the planes or something like that. Okay, so it's kind of a wild claim, which is why I haven't really been reporting on it yet. But I'm just saying I'm seeing a lot of these posts. And obviously, if anything like that is happening, it's extremely concerning. And we don't, there's a little more evidence that concerning things are happening in El Salvador. Denver says it's about creating the pretext for eventual global digital ID. Yeah, sure. Abrego Garcia is back in the United States. I don't know if he's still facing trial for human trafficking. I think he is, which I believe is a made-up charge, but we'll see. Because of his testimony, it's clear that in El Salvador, they're torturing inmates. In 2025, the American president is disappearing immigrants to concentration camps in El Salvador to be tortured until they die. This cannot be who we are. So I don't get, there's people out there, Trump and some of his supporters, who are saying like, oh yeah, if you're doing bad things, we should totally get you out of the country. What that is not constitutional. It's not legal. It's not anything about being American in any way, shape, or form. That's not how you deal with the problem. It's just say, we're just going to kick everybody out. This is completely new. Anyways, Abrego said when he arrived there, he was forced to strip, issued prison clothing, subjected to physical abuse, including being kicked in the legs with boots, struck on his head and arms to make him change clothes faster. His head was shaved with his Zero razor. And he was frog marched to cell 15, being struck with wooden batons along the way. By the following day, he had visible bruises and lumps all over his body. In cell 15, he and 20 other Salvadorians were forced to kneel from approximately 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., with guards striking anyone who fell from exhaustion. During this time, Garcia was denied bathroom access and soiled himself. The detainees were confined to metal bunks with no mattresses in an overcrowded cell with no windows, bright lights that remained on 24 hours a day, and minimal access to sanitation. Whoa. What the hell? Well, this is what you deserve if you're a bad person. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. And a lot of people, or most of these people, aren't even getting due process, if any at all. Let's see. John Cooper says, this is important. Most Medicaid recipients likely have no idea that they're about to lose their coverage. Entropy saying the problem is that Medicaid mostly isn't called Medicaid, so the disadvantaged people using it have no clue what the fuss is about. Yeah, it's called many different things in different states. In California, it's called Medi-Cal. And all kinds of different things. It's rarely called Medicaid in any state. This is ridiculous, but I mean, people are so fed up that they'll support anything. Anytime anybody says anything that's relatively cogent or makes some kind of sense or appeals to them, their sense of outrage of what's happening. But never, ever, 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 ever forget that Elon Musk is a lying tool of the power structure. Poll finds that 40% of voters say they are likely to support Elon Musk's America Party if he decides to launch it, according to Qantas Insights. Bull comes as Musk has threatened to launch his own political party over recent disagreements with the Republican Party. Oh, okay. So people just went from hating Elon to being like, no, he's pretty cool. And I vote for him too. He's like, I love Trump. Trump is the best. He's the awesomest. We'd vote for Trump. Get him in office. Until like 3 months later being like, Trump sucks. I hate Trump. He's the worst. He is doing the worst things. He is the terriblest. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's okay, Elon. I know. It was just, you messed up. It's okay. We'll vote for you. What? You think libertarians will switch to the Elon party? Good Lord. In the UK, the BBC staff has signed I don't know, difference makes anybody or anything, but if it's going to change anything. Over 100 BBC staff have signed a letter declaring they've been forced to do PR for Israel. Just the latest chapter in the biggest scandal of Western journalism of our time. Oh, is it? Is it the biggest scandal? Or is the scandal that you've been doing propaganda for the last 5-6 decades? Is that a scandal? I think that might be the scandal, that you've just been dishing it out for decades upon decades upon decades upon decades. I think that's a bigger scandal. That you are lackeys and stenographers for power. But you signed a letter, and so, you're telling the truth now. Okay. All right. Whoa. Scandal. I am truly shocked. Wow. Tell me more. Chris Menahan says we're hitting levels of treason never thought possible. Again, sure. AIPAC-funded Congressman Josh Gottheimer and Mike Lawler have put forward a bill to transfer American B-2 stealth bombers and bunker busters to Israel. Of course they have. But is it levels of treason we've never seen? You mean all of the billions upon billions of military equipment and aid that we've given them for the last, again, 5 decades? But no, this is treason. Okay. It's a new level of treason. Oh, okay. All right. Sure. Tell me more. And if you weren't wary of AI, you should be wary of AI. But, again, some people find it fun, interesting, and useful in certain areas. That's fine, but proceed with extreme caution, my friends. Microsoft's AI is censoring information. This is interesting.
I just saw the lead singer of Disturbed saying that you shouldn't use any festival, any stage to promote a political point. And then in the comments, people were saying, oh, but it's okay for you to sign bombs that are dropped on Gaza. And I was like, what? Is that real? So I went and asked Copilot, is that true? Watch what happened. So you can see I already asked the question, did someone from Disturbed sign bombs? And it looks like it didn't answer the question and just said, do you want to talk about something else? It didn't. So I'm going to ask it once again, tell me what happened. So I say, please give answer. And watch this. Oh, where did it go? Where did the answer go? It had the answer. Here's a screenshot of it. Look at that. So it turns out that was true. I'm just not allowed to know that information for some reason.
Okay.
I just saw the lead singer of Disturbed saying that you shouldn't use
I mean, this is not new news, but maybe an interesting example of how they censor information. It's not new news. They're doing it. They've been doing it. Again, too, I was talking yesterday about, or not yesterday, the day before. This is not good. U.S. CENTCOM Commander General Michael Kurilla has arrived in Israel and held a meeting with Israeli Chief of Staff Herzai Halevi. Every time Kurilla visits, Israel launches a new military operation. Oh, not good. Not good. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh, I was talking about people that do, AI voice videos now and just let the AI talk while they go. Or like, whoa. Again, like the financial guys I was talking about at the beginning of the show, like you kind of have to live in a little bit of an information bubble or acknowledgement bubble in order to think like, it's going to be great. AI is going to lead us into this glorious new future. Are you not paying attention? Are you not paying attention to the guys that are people that are forcing this on you or telling you that this is going to be awesome, or the people that are giving it to you? Have you not been paying attention? Have you not been paying attention to all the people that are telling you what it's going to be used for eventually? Have you not been paying attention? Like, are you intentionally not paying attention? I don't understand. Could you pay attention, please? Yeah, Gregory, yes. Yep. Could become a police state. Wrecked him, damn near killed him. Right. I think that does it for me, guys. I'm going to be back tomorrow on the doing a 4th of July broadcast at the usual time of 12 p.m. Pacific. If anything changes, I will let you know. But just plan on being here, and we'll just do and we'll talk about what's going on tomorrow. We'll do a special 4th of July stream. Okay. Thanks for joining in, guys. I don't know if I have anybody to thank today. I mean, I already thanked some people earlier. Doesn't look like it. It's all good. Thank you, Extra Bulla. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. You're the best and the brightest, smarter than the average bear. Don't let anybody tell you different. And I will see you all tomorrow. Appreciate you. And until next time, peace.
Bye.